The TV played 25-year-old news as Nick tried turning it off. Suddenly, thunder clapped, flickering the screen. Nick saw himself from the tape on screen, though the tape was still in the box. Willa turned on the VCR. Thunder rumbled again. 25 years ago, Nick saw Willa on the TV and suspiciously greeted the future woman. Both were amazed to chat through TV. Willa realized she had connected with Nick, then alive, 25 years ago. Nick again heard shouting from outside and walked to the window as he had done before, but this occasion the noise outside became even more intense. Willa was determined to prove they were sharing the same house. Willa pulled out a box full of tapes, and the boy curiously asked how it ended up in her hands. Willa explained she was a time traveler from 25 years in the future. She warned Nick not to leave the room, but he dismissed it as a silly prank and got ready to turn off the TV immediately. "If you stay in the room, you'll see me, but if you go out tomorrow you might end up on the evening news." "Nick, please don't go." But no matter how much Willa shouted, stubborn Nick dashed out the door. But this time he dodged a disaster. The next day, Mom came home from work. Nick excitedly told his mom about his adventure. 25 years later, Willa woke to colleagues calling her to the door. When she suited up and reached the surgery table, she was shocked to find yesterday's patient lying there, thinking, how did he end up here? The doctor was fully prepared. Willa had been entrusted with a mission to save the little boy's life. After hearing this, Willa felt dizzy, and her colleagues referred to her as Dr. Willa, making her question if she was dreaming. Her colleagues' reaction only served to shock her even more, and she hastily rushed to confirm. Meanwhile, the scene shifted 25 years back to David's uncle's son bringing the unlucky ones to school. They got out of the car and spotted a lightning-struck wall with a bunch of confused parents gathered at the front. David's uncle asked what happened. A neighbor said last night's storm caused a power outage, school holiday for a week. Nick realized it wasn't his concern. Willa went to the school, but couldn't find her daughter, so she asked her little pals where Milan went. The little girl cluelessly replied she had no idea who Milan was, as if she had turned into a headless chicken. Things were getting weirder. Willa found her daughter's teacher, only to get the same answer, feeling like she was going in circles. She showed up at her husband's office, feeling like she had found the light, but astonishingly, he didn't recognize her. She thought he was joking, but he coolly insisted he didn't know her at all. Meanwhile, Nick reached David's house and told David about the arguments he had last night. David then suspected it might be Miss Esphis and her husband fighting. Meanwhile, David's mother looked a bit anxious. She asked Nick if he saw anything, and once he said no, her expression finally relaxed. They both peered through the window at the neighbor's house again, but saw no one respond. The dog in the yard was barking non-stop. As they headed to the police station, the sheriff shared his own bizarre encounter. He spoke about how his memories were completely turned upside down. His role had shifted, especially with his daughter disappearing without it. The sheriff tried to uncover clues by probing Bella's memories, but told her the harsh truth. Bella wasn't married to David. He couldn't even find Milan's birth certificate or even say that she still lived in that house. Meanwhile, Nick sketched Bella's likeness with watercolors when the TV suddenly made a noise. He got up to check, only to see a figure emerge on the screen, and Nick casually waved. The figure on the other side got up and ended the call. Nick shouted but received no response. He went to the window and saw David's uncle handing a letter to neighbor Angel before leaving. Just then, the sheriff brought Bella to his workplace hospital, trying to explain how his confused memories came to be. He remembered his first patient. It had left a deep impact, creating a fictional memory of his husband. Bella recalled knowing her husband had brain surgery, but that day he was sick with the flu and didn't participate in the surgery. Seeing this, her colleagues took Bella to the office, but she had no recollection of the framed certificates. The moment a colleague touched him, Bella suddenly remembered events from when she became a doctor. However, all of this contradicted her memory, so Bella brought up her daughter. A colleague explained that Bella had taken on a surgery with very low odds over 10 days ago, but the little girl sadly hadn't made it. Nobody wanted to take on that surgery, but kind-hearted Bella was willing to take that risk, and it left her riddled with guilt. In her memories, she fabricated an image of her daughter, looping the memory of every patient from the first to the last, leading her to a dead end. Suddenly, a streak of lightning zipped across, and Bella found herself at the window as the storm outside raged on. She realized it was all linked to the strange storm heading to the garage. Asked by the sheriff, she explained it might be due to saving a boy. She believed she had changed the past, which altered her life's path. Bella was determined to find her daughter. The scene switched to Nick wandering around, seeing neighbor Angel drive away, before heading to her meat-picking plant. He stealthily entered the neighbor's house, and the eerily quiet, empty room made his hair stand on end. Meanwhile, Angel departed the plant with her tools. Nick saw bloody earrings, watching bathroom mirror, open door, stunned to find Miss Esphus' corpse.